How's it going, guys? What's going on? Welcome to Theory Hammer, where today we're going to be doing another unit breakdown for you guys. We're going to be diving into the Tau Empire, and honestly, they don't have a whole lot of crazy units, but they do have a few powerful ones, and so I thought it would be a good time to go over them, before something changes. So thunder hammer that like, subscribe, and bell icon, leave a comment, check out our other videos, check out the other channel. Let's just get right into this and talk about the Tiger Shark. So it's a flyer. It's going to be moving 20 or more inches. It's toughness 11. It's got a 3-up save, 18 wounds, a leadership of 7, and no OC. However, it comes with that 5-up invuln. It's equipped with 2 burst cannons, 2 ion cannons, 2 missile pods, and a transport bay. But you can upgrade those burst cannons with cyclic ion blasters, which you're going to do every single time, and you can replace that transport bay with 2 Sky Spear missile racks. You're also going to replace its ion cannons with railguns, because it has 2 shots with it. It does have an ability that's pretty bad. It makes an enemy unit take a battle shock test. The problem is that the enemy unit that it shoots at dies. So, listen. What? It's 275 points. Bro, a good flyer that's much worse than this is a Storm Raven, and I think the Storm Raven is now 240 points. But before we get too excited, let's remind ourselves that this is indeed an aircraft, and so it comes with some benefits and some drawbacks that we need to consider, maybe a bit more than other units. So we're going to start up with the drawbacks. The main drawback that I've found with this thing is that it's just gigantic. It's so gigantic, in fact, that you can't actually do anything with it, which I might add is bullshit, but its base is bigger than 6 inches, so when you come onto the table, it's not actually allowed to do anything else besides sit there. So drawback number 1, you basically have to rapid ingress this thing. This means it's probably going to be within line of sight of something, but you can just kind of put it in your backfield where it's harder to be in range of, and potentially line of sight depending on where those models are that want to shoot at it. So it's huge. It's just fucking huge. You can't hide this fucking thing for the most part. So next, it's got a lot of guns, but it's really good at killing one thing and not a lot of small things. Once it blows its load, it's also not effective in its later turns. It loses 6 high damage shots for the rest of the game, and then from that point onward, it's only just overpowered instead of being massively busted. It almost has too many guns. It'd be cool if it could split fire, Like shoot railguns one way, shoot your seekers another way, life would be great. But unfortunately, you're playing one of the most frustrating factions possible, and so you can't split fire. No, you see, if you do that, at least while you're guided, then you're -1 to hit the other target. So if you want to do that, you can't guide this thing. And then you're going to lose things like reroll 1s to hit and wound from stealth suits. That's drawback on all Tau units. The issue is that most Tau units don't literally have 14 different guns, and so this thing just tends to just entirely overkill whatever it's shooting at. So that's the main drawback on this point, is that it can't split fire effectively, and so it ends up just being too much firepower at one place. But at least that one thing is definitely dead. So that's what we got. It can't do anything when it comes on. It's a gigantic flyer that's always in line of sight. It usually overkills its target. It becomes worse after its first shooting phase. Some pretty big problems, But let's weigh it against the benefits. The benefits are that it has insane firepower, legitimately, and I'll show you in a little bit, but insane to the point where it almost one-shots the Avatar. So yeah, it's very tough for its points. It's toughness 11 with 18 wounds with a 5-up invuln. It's pretty cheap for what it can do. I mean, you're almost one-shotting the Avatar with it. It's obviously going to be very, very fast. And it is still effective after its initial shooting phase. It still has 8 guns on it, okay? So, and I actually own one of these things, and they appeal to me because they're just very, very, very efficient for their points. It's not a huge investment, and it serves as a way to just annihilate some very hard targets. Tau tend to struggle with being able to just one-shot very big things, although a lot of factions do, but Tau especially need to be able to do it because of how they play. So they have a lot of trouble destroying things like Magnus or the Avatar. This thing just says bye-bye to all of it. What it will not destroy is basically a 10-man Terminator squad, but hey, I mean, nothing short of Hellbracht and Sword Brethren will do that. So I do challenge you, though, to find another 275-point unit that does as much damage as this thing can do, to literally anything. Terminator squads included, because this thing destroys 7 of them on average. And thankfully, we don't have too much to break down here in terms of detachments, because there's really only 2 of them that work for this thing. Plus, my brain's turning to mush, trying to remember everything from every faction that I play and own. But basically, it probably benefits the most from the Cayune detachment, because in the Cayune detachment, it gets sustained 2 from the 3rd battle round onward. This with any form of rerolls is just disgusting on this thing. You then have a stratagem for them, which is a tempting trap, which can give this thing +1 to wound if it really needs it, like as if it does. If it's wounding anything on 2s at that point, everything. But having sustained 2 alone as your detachment rule is dumb. If you shoot your 6 seeker missiles, you're going to hit with 4 and you're going to get 2 sustained. And then you have a 1 to reroll. So you're going to hit with like 6+ missiles, and you'll be guided with stealth suits, so you're going to reroll 1s to wound, and you're probably wounding on 2s against like literally everything. So that's 6 wounds with missiles alone that are AP 3 and ignoring cover that are D6 +1 damage each. Then we have our 2 railguns, our 2 cyclic ion blasters, our 2 missile racks, and 2 more missile pods. What is happening? Modka is our other option. The Crude Hunter Pack is just Crude based, which this thing is not, and the Retaliation Cadre is Battlesuit based, which this is not. So the Modka, it gives us lethal hits on the first 3 turns, up until turn 4. It's not as useful as having sustained, since our weapons are generally pretty high strength. This does give us a -1 damage strat though, in the counterfire defense system, and this will go a long way into keeping this thing alive. Toughness 11 with a 5-up save, 18 wounds, and now it's -1 damage. Dude, it's 275 points. You'd need to dump like twice that, or maybe even more, into this thing to drop it with -1 damage. But let's actually just kind of analyze this a bit and see how much it actually does take to drop it. I know we start with bolters, it's a waste of time. It takes 486, which is like half as many as Deathwing Knights. That's crazy to just think of. With las cannons though, you're getting outside the realm of actually being able to get it in 1 turn. It takes about 20 if you're hitting on 3s. You get about 13-ish hits, but you really are looking for those 9 wounds, because with the 9 wounds, I'm going to get my invuln, and I'm going to have 6 of them go through. They're -1 damage, but on average, you're going to do about 17.5 damage with only 5 hits, and so you are going to need a 6th to get through. But you'll end up doing about 21 damage to it after all is said and done. So 20 las cannons is a good amount of las cannons. If you're shooting melta guns or multi-meltas or any melta type weapon that's at least melta 2 in half range, it takes 27 of those because they wounded on 5s. You got to hit with 18, get 6 wounds, and 4 of them have to go through. If you're in melta range, you'll do exactly 18 damage on average. If we're getting shot up by something like some auto cannons, this is really where the -1 damage starts to shine. So like anything that's flat 2 or flat 3 damage, this is really where it starts to shine, because with auto cannons, you need 121 shots, 81 hits, 27 wounds because you're wounding on 5s. I got a 3-up save because I'm in cover because I'm gigantic and I'm definitely in cover. Yeah, 9 damage, or nine of them go through for 18 damage because they're 2 apiece instead of 3 now. So 121 shots to start, not great. Plasma guns are going to end up being the exact same in terms of the number of shots. 121 of those were going to be shooting at me, and I'm going to hit with 81 of them, I'm going to wound with 27 of them, and I'm going to fail 18. They're each 1 damage now, so I take 18 damage, but it takes 121 plasma gun shots. That's a lot. That's 6 squads of Hellblasters, so yeah, it's not easy to kill if you put -1 damage on it. And Monka, the detachment, can also give you access to game-lasting hits, like reroll hits, against certain units with the pinpoint counter-offensive, I think it's called. You basically pick a unit that destroyed one of your units. It's immediately after they destroy one of your units, and you just reroll hits against them for the rest of the game. And then finally, this detachment gives us access to Strategic Conqueror, which is an enhancement, and that actually gives the flyer an OC. So that's kind of interesting. And Monka definitely gives the most things to the Tiger Shark here, but the Kayan detachment probably gives it the best benefit. And because Kaoyan starts on turn 3, that's about when this thing starts to go nuts anyway. Like if I go first, on your turn 2, I rapid it. I get sustained hits immediately when it comes on, like back to me. If I go second though, I probably rapid it during your turn 2 anyway, and then I can like use it on my turn 2, I just won't get sustained 2. But I can get that +1 to wound if I really do need to get something hard, crazy off the table. So it is kind of hard to say because it really is one of those units that either kind of works or just doesn't work. That's why you don't see them in every single Tau list. It's good until it's not, you know? Hopefully that makes sense, but personally, I think it should probably be in most Tau lists. Like, if people could own one, it's 275 points. It's crazy good for its points. And this is how I normally use it. Like, this thing will have to start the game in reserve because it doesn't have hover. So once turn 2 comes around, you rapid ingress it, hopefully near your stealth suits, otherwise you're paying a CP. This allows you to rapid it for free if you put it near your stealth suits, and that lets it put you way in the backfield, you know, probably where it should be, to hopefully survive, and then it kind of flies over and just annihilates whatever. And this time, I'm going to show you guys how much damage it can do to specific units. I'm not going to do all that many of them, but I'll show you how much it can do to some specific units. So we'll put it in the Cayune, we'll guide it with stealth suits, and we'll give it +1 to wound just because. We could do point blank ambush for +1 AP, but I'm just going to leave that one out. But do remember that you have access to it. So let's stop talking about it and let's actually do the math here. Against Magnus, your railguns are just going to get blanked. Sorry, that's just how it's going to go. With your Seeker missiles, with a Cabal reroll and a CP reroll, you're going to end up getting one of those for sure that you pass, mathematically speaking, and so he's going to only end up taking 2 from that. They're only going to be D6 damage because he's -1 damage. With your Cyclics, you'll do about 2 damage to him with those total. With your Sky Spear missile rack, you'll also do about 2 damage to him because they wound him on 3s, and they are AP1 with ignores cover. All of this is ignoring cover, obviously, but just saying. And then our missile pods, they'll do about 1 wound to him as well. And so in total, we do about 12 damage to Magnus. And so the only reason that we don't do 12 damage to Magnus is because he used 2 stratagems, a Cabal reroll, and his own ability to make him -1 damage. And he still almost died. Now, if we want to shoot the Avatar, like I said, this thing almost dies. With our railguns, we do 3 to 4 damage because it does half damage. With our Seeker missiles, though, we do about 5 damage. With our Cyclics, we do about another 2. Our Sky Spears will net us about another 1, and then our missile pods will also net us about another 1. When we total all that up, that's 13 damage, and the Avatar only has 14 wounds. So almost nothing in the game can do that kind of damage to the Avatar, especially a 275 point flyer of all vehicles. So this is what I mean. Like, this is what I like doing, is doing this kind of math, because it just kind of demonstrates how crazy some of these units in this game are. You're shooting at Terminators. The railguns will do about 1, they'll kill about 1. The Seeker missiles will destroy about 3. The Cyclics will destroy 1.5 more. Your Sky Spears will they won't quite kill 1. They'll do like 2 wounds to a dude. And then your missile pods will do about a wound to a guy. On average, of course. If you do these in a different direction, like if you shoot your weapons in a different way, you might be able to get out a little bit more. But on the high end, you destroy 7 Terminators in the unit. The first 3 weapons destroy almost 6, and the last one is enough. The last 2 is enough to destroy the 7th. So all for 275 points. Like, bro, that's less points than 3 Sunforged suits with a commander. A Redeemer is like 285 points or something now. So if we're almost one-shotting the Avatar, like coming within 1 or 2 wounds of destroying it, you can bet your bottom dollar that this thing will one-shot a Land Raider in cover with Armor of Contempt, any Imperial Knight. Like, it practically destroys the Terminator squad. It completely neuters the Terminator squad, but there's 3 guys left in a character. It's like, okay, I can deal with that, no problem. Very, very, very few things in the game can do this kind of damage to these kinds of targets. And for 275 points, like, I know I keep harping on it, but for 275 points, something is very, very wrong, especially because GW seems to hate flyers this edition. And this thing is like not only the best flyer in the game, it's one of the best fucking vehicles in the game. And like, even after it shoots those Seeker missiles, it's still really good because it has 8 guns on it and is still beefy and dumb. You still have the 2 railguns, like, you have the 2 Cyclics, you have the 2 missile pods, you have the 2 missile racks. That's still 8 guns. If we take 2 Hammerheads and we spend 280 points, which is more than 275, that's 2 railguns, 4 Seeker missiles, and then the 4 high output burst cannons or whatever they're called. So 2 shots, strength 20, 4 shots, strength 14, 16 shots is strength 6. Let's just say we already shoot our Seeker missiles and then compare them. The Hammerhead is getting 2 shots with railguns. The 2 Hammerheads are getting 2 shots with their railguns and 16 shots with their burst cannon things. the Tiger Shark is also getting 2 shots with railguns, 6 shots with cyclic ion blasters, 9 shots with the Sky Spear missile pod thing, which has blasts. It's basically just a better high output burst, and then 4 shots from 2 missile pods that are 2 damage. So like, it's putting out more firepower than 2 Hammerheads even after it shoots its Seeker missiles. Now, is it alive after the first time it shoots? That's debatable, and the answer is probably no, but like, you lost 275 points. That's not that much, and if you really wanted to, you could have split fired with it without guiding it, like put Shadow Sun nearby for reroll 1s to hit, maybe actually like got rid of 2 units in that case, because it could split fire its railgun somewhere else with reroll 1s to hit, and then put all of its missiles somewhere else. Maybe it puts its cyclics and its missiles at the same thing as the railgun just to kind of ensure it does some damage there. I don't know, but it could. It could absolutely do that, because even without being guided, it still does gain sustained 1. And there's really just no way around this, guys. Like, this is a good flyer. It's the best flyer in the game. It's entirely undercosted, and its firepower is like actually outrageous for a single shooting unit. It's toughness 11, so like anything that's strength 10 or less, it has trouble even wounding the damn thing. It's got 18 wounds, so it's beefy. It's got that 5 up invuln in case you get hit by like AP 4 or more. Sometimes you'll just bounce that Lancer shot off, you know, with that invuln. It's hard to get on the table, but like with infinite speed and a free rapid ingress, just pop it in your backfield, make sure it's not in range or just not in line of sight of enough stuff that can really like kill it in 1 round of shooting, and then just come in hot your next turn. People will be like, what the fuck is this thing? And then spend a ton of time trying to get rid of it. And when they do, you still have 1,700 points left. So even as like a distraction Carnifex, that it takes a decent amount of dedication to destroy this thing, especially if you're playing in Monka and giving it -1 damage. Yeah, it is a great distraction Carnifex at that point, because it'll hit you first, because it's rapid ingressing. You're probably not going to be able to touch it at that point, or if you are, you're hopefully not being able to destroy it. And assuming you don't, if then flies up, it just destroys something very important. It kills 7 Terminators out of a unit, and then it takes a bunch of effort to actually get rid of it. And I'm like, I'm cool. I knew you were going to destroy it. Like, it destroyed a whole Terminator squad practically, so I'm not worried about you destroying it. That was a good trade kind of mentality. Yeah. So basically every time I've used one of these things, it's made its points back. And if its base was just a little bit smaller, I would legitimately run 2 of them. Like, that's 550 points of just flying death that always hits you first. Just disgustingness. Now, we're getting to the end here, so I'll just mention that Tau do have a few other units that we are going to cover in their own videos. But this thing is just god-smackingly good for its points. Is that even a word? It's not a word, but I just made it up. So your face like scrunches up when you read this thing's datasheet. You're like, it has so many guns. Its profile is beefy. It's only 275 points? Like, what? I think most of us have gotten that impression when reading it. And I can tell you from using it, they are indeed crazy powerful. Like, you need to run 3 of these things. Don't actually run 3 of these things. But anyway, that's going to wrap this one up, theorists. So if you guys liked this breakdown, crash your Tiger Shark into that like button, thunderhammer that subscribe button, hit the bell, check out our other videos, check out our second channel, and I might just start calling it the other channel, so I can stop fucking up which channel is the first and second, depending on which channel I'm filming for and all that. So otherwise, I'll just continue to fuck that up into perpetuity. So anyway, thank you everybody for watching and making it to the end here. Theory hard. Let me know what you think about this unit for the greater good, and I'll catch you guys next time.